Good evening. I'm again Liv with you, and today we will have a topic that concerns everyone. Very serious and very important topic. The subconscious influence and the methods of protection against it. Why did this topic arise and why did we receive to talk about this? Recently, I see that such a tendency arises that learners who come for the courses have a lot of destructive subconscious programs. These are programs that are social or magical from magicians. And at first days of their course, I can call not a teaching and learning process, but like a process of exorcism. And of course, I know this topic and I learned it very deeply. So today I want to share with you what it is, what is this influence, how to protect yourself, how to understand and notice this influence, and how not to become a fanatic and not to become nervous because of this influence. So today's topic is very important, and the science says and explains about this not much, but it also can be explained by the point of view of the science. So let's start and talk about the subconsciousness. Subconsciousness is such a state of the nature that has the subtle energy state. It means that your subconsciousness processes and information and stores it in your first chakra, root chakra, and then your brain also processes this information and because this information is coming to the brain along the spinal cord, and your brain deciphers these programs as your thoughts, mental projections. So the brain of a human being is the main structure of your body and very serious. But the state of subconsciousness is so different from your conscious state that we can say that subconsciousness really works by itself. In a person who is undeveloped, who cannot control himself, his thoughts and emotions, feelings, in general, if a person is undeveloped, he has such a structure of subconsciousness that work in him automatically. And you always have two states, two levels of consciousness. When you're in a conscious state, when you clearly understand what happens, when you're aware of your thoughts, why are you thinking about this? What will be the consequences of your thoughts? It means that you make your decisions consciously, understanding what are you doing, and of course, understanding your responsibility of your actions. Subconscious state, and when your thoughts arise in your mind unconsciously, work and arise by itself. So people call it spontaneously thoughts. And such a person cannot control his thoughts and his inner states, although every person needs to learn how to manage its states. And subconsciousness works like a sponge. It records all information from the environment. And the special services know about this very well, and all their work, their influences. But for this, you need to expand your consciousness and raise your vibrations, and then you can connect with your subtle bodies and with your consciousness to the highest level of the reality, to the higher mind. So subconsciousness fixes everything, but friends, also your consciousness and subconsciousness cannot work simultaneously. They are replacing each other. When consciousness is active, then subconsciousness is passive, and on the contrary. So, thus, your thinking works. But observing people, I see that usually people live in unconscious state, and their thoughts arise in them unknowingly, spontaneously. Such people don't control these states and their thinking. It means that their subconsciousness works by itself. And a person without control in these states just feel with the states that and thoughts that arise in him. And it creates his behavior in society, his feelings, his actions. So that's why I can tell you that people now, most of the people suffer most of all because of this reason that they don't control their subconsciousness. And the subconsciousness is engaged in all your processes of your life. And if people learn how to manage and control their subconsciousness, then it will be impossible to control them. Because when your subconsciousness is closed and you very skillfully control the state of your subconsciousness, and a person can protect his subconsciousness, then your mind does not work on the basis of destructive programs, but on the creative programs, conscious programs that influence and feed your subtle bodies. And what subtle bodies people have? Maestral, astral body, mental body. Astral, you call the emotional body. Mental body is the body of the thoughts. And four spiritual bodies that allow you to develop your spiritual state. It means your energy state. So, spiritual bodies are the subtle energy bodies of people who are developing spiritually. Only they have developed spiritual bodies, but in potential, all people have the spiritual bodies. So, subconsciousness has the ability to interact with all your subtle bodies, and in principle, it is involved in the work of your subtle bodies. And since the creation of every event uh, in your life, in your material level of life, initially is formed at the subtle energy level, and your subtle bodies are engaged in this process of creation of your life. It is true, friends. Everything is checked and discovered and explored, and not only me who knows this information. Modern scientists also know this knowledge, but they just hide it from people. But my task is to teach people, to give you this knowledge and to teach you how to be independent and to manage and control your own lives. So, subconsciousness is very serious structure, and exactly through subconsciousness, different influence take place on people's mind. So let's talk about how this influence occurs in our modern life. Now there is a big problem that there are a lot of many sects and hidden, silent, secret organizations that tell that they develop people, provide some training of management life or gaining success, financial prosperity. But in fact, these organizations are engaged in completely another processes. They're working with subconsciousness of people, install to them low vibrational destructive programs, and if a person is weak, have the weak willpower and is undeveloped, these programs work in his subconsciousness very well. And it allows to this sects and organization to control these people. And many of these sects do this process exactly for this purpose. And another reason, of course, they um, use and take money from these people. So please, friends, be very attentive. Where are you going? What documents you sign? If you will see that they demand to sell your souls for them or to carry out some magical rituals, and I know that many such organizations carry out different magical rituals, and all the work is carried out exactly through subconsciousness of people. And how does it happen? When people come to them, first of all, this organization tell them many examples and promises that and examples of people that uh, such a person reaches such a prosperity, such a richness, and gains such a material property or achievements. And when a person is very surprised, very shocked, or very scared, then at this moment his subconsciousness is instantly open, and then another person can add any information, any program into his subconsciousness, and then such a person continues living on the basis of this program because he considers it like his own, although it was imposed on him. It's not his own thought and program. Yes, friends, I tell you this how, as a psychologist, as a scientist and researcher, I see how it happens, and as a specialist, I understand how it happens. I'm aware of these processes. And in addition to this, I need to return these people to life because when they come to me in very suppressed and severe state, because they cannot control their life, they sleep in, they come in a very aggressive state, in a very depressed and scary state. And when we're talking to them, they explain me that for example, I was searching for God, for true knowledge, for knowledge how to control my life. So, in principle, a person was searching for great things, good things, and process of development. But when such a person is trapped in such a sect or organizations that carry out really serious magical rituals, they make a doll for a person and make the rituals for kill this person, and I know that it really works. For example, after such rituals, after 10 days such a person will die. And it's true, friends. Now there is a lot of information, there are a lot of books about magics, and all people can learn this and carry out these rituals and create this evil. The problem is that most of people are very material. They want success very much. They want abundance, and the matrix system lures them through this success and money, prosperity. They tell that you will have the business, you will have money, wealth, prosperity. Just we will do everything for you. Just sign the document, the agreement that you sell your soul to us. Although many sects do this in a silent way, that a person even does not realize what he signed and what he does. Uh, and these people from the sects carry out very serious process of threatening these people. They call them, they come to their homes, they force them to sign these documents to come to them. And I see that many people really are trapped into this trap by the subconsciousness influence on them. So, friends, I want to tell you that it is possible to get rid of this, but everything depends on the situation in what a person lives in what state of the psyche he has. Uh, there are such cases when a person has lost his soul, then it's impossible to help him. Or when a person is completely without control of his mind, his soul, then the matrix completely controls his mind, and it's also impossible to save this person. Although also there are such cases. Now I remember one uh, case, one situation with my learners, and I managed to save them. They returned to the normal life, they felt relief, but they abandoned the path of self development, spiritual development. There are just a few such learners, but I had such a case. So sometimes I managed to save these people, but to see such a process, um, it's very difficult because it really looks like the exorcism process. They are screaming, they are fighting, they're very aggressive. Um, So, of course, I'm a spiritual teacher, and I also fulfill such work with helping and saving people. So, how to protect yourself from such a process? First of all, you need always maintain the high vibrations. It means to be very strong-willed and strong person. And such a person also uh, always have only positive and creative thoughts in the basis of his thinking. He rejoices the achievements of other people. He helps other people. He rejoices the nature and the beautiful sunset. Now I also see a very beautiful sunset uh, out of my window, and I can tell you my secret that on the sunset I work in meditation with the whole world and fill with the world with the goodness, love, happiness, awareness. And at that moment, I always feel such feelings that overwhelms me. And of course, I share these feelings with the whole world, with all people who are ready to feel it. And so, friends, what are the methods of protection? First of all, stop being afraid of any influence and impact of any kind, because all these influence are programs. It means that you can convert it in another state. For example, low vibrational vibration into the high vibrational energy, and thus high vibrations will transform low vibrational program into the better state, and then this program will work in you as the normal and creative state. And don't be afraid of this word program. Everything consists of programs. Your DNA is also programs, and it's your natural state. So don't be afraid of anything. Try to delve in everything and to study this knowledge. Then your fears will disappear. Also, master the abilities to generate in yourself a pure and high vibrational energy. And having this energy, always connect yourself with the higher source, with the source of the light, the higher mind. This is the source of life. And when you are in the field of higher vibration, of the higher mind, you're always happy, you're always calm. And having this state of the higher source, you also need to add the state of vigilance. It means that you always should maintain your conscious state. One moment, friends. Sorry for interruption. Now we will continue the streaming. So, having these high vibrations, and when you are a conscious person, it's impossible to influence and impact you. When you live in unconscious state, it means that your mind connects to the subconsciousness, and subconsciousness connects to the collective unconscious. Recently, in some of live broadcasts, I told you about this. And then, of course, it's very easy to influence such a person. That's why, friends, you need to accumulate and activate in yourself a certain inner states of fearlessness, inner conviction that you are not a slave, you're a child of the higher mind, a child of God. You're the spirit of the sixth category. You are the source of life, and you even have six subtle bodies that you develop here on this planet, living this physical material life. And you need to attitude to this material life as to temporary existence, being here. But the whole life you need to understand how your natural state of life, and you need to work with your subtle bodies, raise their vibrations, always radiate these high vibrations, and always maintain your vigilance. Who you are, where are you going, what are you thinking, what will be the consequences of your thoughts, what will be the results of your thoughts. It means always maintain your vigilance. It means not to uh, be in such a trance. And also can tell you as a psychologist that all these sects that trap people, they deliberately apply such a methods to surprise a person, because when you are very surprised, your subconsciousness are opened very quickly, and even there is no sense to carry out special rituals. Just a hypnologist sends a certain program into the subconsciousness of a person, and then this program will work in him. The hypnologist even can install a certain time when this program will be activated. Yes, friends, the system deliberately hides this knowledge about your true natural uh, state of you, energy, nature, because then it will be easier for you to protect yourself. But all these rituals in subconscious influence and magical rituals work at the subtle energy state. Subtle state is your thoughts and emotions. So when your subconsciousness open, and when someone thinks about you negatively, then he immediately influences your subconsciousness. That's why even the magical rituals are unnecessary in this case. Of course, when someone carries out the magical rituals, it also works. And I can explain you how it works. Low vibrational programs with a negative charge are involved, and they carry low vibrational information and energy in themselves. And they also are needed for the world, for the changes in the world. But if such low vibration, destructive energy uh, is directing on the person precisely on his consciousness, then of course the person is destroying very quickly. He delves into the depression, or into sadness, into aggression, or in fears, and even he does not realize what happens to him. And that was the negative subconscious influence. Yes, friends, I uh, studied this topic very deeply, and not only me who knows it, but my task is to protect you from this matrix control. I love you very much, friends. I love all humans. I love the nature and the Creator and you as His children. That's why I'm very sorry that you are trapped in such life circumstances and situations. I'm very sorry for to see it because I know that the Creator created for you such resources, such a great nature, such a miracles and wonderful nature, ocean, plants, trees, animals, so many beautiful things. And humans live in such a misery, in such an unhappy state, and in such a suffering. And only because humans just stop live in undeveloped state with open subconsciousness and all the destructive programs were installed to them, and that's why we have such destructive results. But friends, everything can be changed. We can improve and change everything. I know this for sure, that we can change it. And how to do this? Let's not wait for tomorrow. Let's do it right now. Remember about a happy moment of your life. And at this moment, as soon as you remember it, be conscious. It means at the same time, remember this, and at the same time, think what are you thinking, for what purpose you are thinking this, and what will be the result of your memory. It means not to delve into the memory completely, because then your subconsciousness will be activated, but maintain your conscious state. For example, now I remember that I love sunset very much. I love to work with sunset. I love to enjoy it and to observe the sunsets. But I maintain my conscious state, my vigilance, because I know that I'm thinking about the sunset, but and I feel in this state. It means that now I'm working at the subtle level. Now I'm working with my subtle level and you're working with your subtle level. So when you maintain your vigilance and when you remember about some positive events, happy moments, your vibrations automatically raise and you cheer up, your mood is improving. You feel the pleasant feelings you want to feel and experience these feelings again. But at the same time, you need to clearly um, aware of what you're thinking and what you're feeling and what you want to experience again. Although, if sometimes you stuck on some thought, first you had some thought and then it flew away. If someone will ask you what are you thinking right now, you will say that nothing. So it means that you are in an altered state of consciousness. And exactly this state of altered state of consciousness is the state of your consciousness when your subconsciousness is opened. And then when you're in society, you receive the waves, the vibrations of other people, and they radiate very material things or egoistic thoughts, how to live, how to earn money, or how to find job, how to get rid of sufferings, or about the disease. It means that low vibrational thoughts and vibrations. And when you are living with open subconsciousness, you perceive all these vibrations, all these mental waves, because all these thoughts are flying and moving everywhere with the etheric wave. So this information is moving in the space, and your subconsciousness perceives this etheric mental waves and creating you different inner states, feelings. Sometimes you even notice that uh, I had a good mood and then instantly the mood has changed and I don't want to leave and everything is bad. and I don't know what awaits me in the future, and everything is bad, and I don't want anything, don't want to work, and do not want anything. It means that you caught these low vibrational waves and this negative influence. It means that your inner state has changed, not for the better, but for the worse. Now I explained you about the negative influence and impact, but now let's talk about our broadcast, our live streaming, about the results of our uh, learning programs. Now we also have the basic course when new learners are studying, and every day they change their inner states. Even on Monday, they had completely different states, and today on Thursday, they told me that they have turned. You have turned our heads in the right direction because they received a lot of knowledge. They know not everything, but a lot about their true nature, and now they will improve their life. So, how do you think? Did they have the influence? Yes, but it was the positive influence on their mind, on their awareness. And don't be afraid of this word, influence, because and program. Program allows you to manage yourself, your inner states. And very often people write us that I felt very bad, and when then I watched your live broadcast, I felt relief. And how does it happen? If a person is watching my broadcast and is listening to my information, and I am telling some information that touches his soul, then his subconsciousness opens because his soul felt my soul, and he received my help, my high vibrational energy. Because during my uh, streaming, I am telling you only about what improving you, what can help you to become healthier, to live a happy life, and I'm radiating high vibrational energy. And many people can see these vibrations because this is light, they can see the light around me. So, this high vibrational energy starts working in you when you receive it, and it you feel the relief, you feel that your mood becomes better, you start thinking about uh, good things, about positive events, and even the state of your organs improve. And sometimes people tell that even as soon as they remember me, my appearance, they feel the relief. And friends, my appearance also was created by the creator, so it's not uh, my achievement. So thank God for everything. But what happens with your subconsciousness? When you think about me, remember about me, you connect to me, to my energy, and your subconsciousness starts receiving my vibrations, my energy waves, my energy, and thus you receive the energy nutrition for yourself. But you do this by yourself because I just radiate my own inner state. I don't pretend, I don't show you some special states. I just show you who I am. I love the world, I love people, I love the nature, I love help people enjoy their uh, achievements, their happiness. This is my state, my normal inner state, and I don't hide this. I just share this state with all people. I really want all people so that all people are happy. This is what I do for people. And of course, knowledge, because knowledge that I give to people carry information, and information always has energy in its structure. And it's also my structure, the knowledge that I possess. So when you are watching my broadcast, you start feed your uh, energy with my vibrations. But friends, I do not do anything deliberately to influence your subconsciousness, your minds, because if I will do this, I will violate the divine law of free will, the right to choose, and I never do this. And working with you, with my viewers, with learners, I work only with high vibrations, and I radiate only high vibrations. But all these sects organizations, they radiate only and work only with low vibrations, and they work for the matrix system. They are its servants. And what do they need? Your energy, because they also want to live, but they cannot generate the energy of life by itself, since they are disconnected from the source of life. Because and only the source of life, the creator, gives the energy to all life organisms. That's why they use energy of people. That's why many of these sects and organizations ask for your souls so that you sell them their souls. And your souls are generators of energy, divine, high vibrational, and eternal energy. But such people who are magicians, they have lost their eternal life. They live just a short period of time on this life, and then they leave this planet and they cannot live after this life because they have lost their souls. But friends, what else I want to share with you and tell you? When you go somewhere or in a transport, you exchange your energy between each other. So always maintain your vigilance. For example, you go out from your house and you know that your energy is pure, you are a kind, a conscious, and a creative person. Always keep this state. Don't delve into the state of aggression or fears that you will meet in society, although you can meet such people or to see the scandal or fight on the street or another aggressive person who expresses himself. And if you're surprised with it, remember this, be very attentive that when you're very surprised, you open your subconsciousness and you take the aggressiveness of that person. It means that you install it into your subconsciousness, into yourself. Friends, now I explain you this very serious process with simple words and phrases so that it um, is comprehensible for you, because only when you understand the information, then you can apply it in your lives. Also, friends, I want to share with you with such experience from my own life. We talked with you about our live broadcasts, and very often when a completely matrix people watch me or were aggressive, very angry, I'm the enemy for them because I reveal all matrix secrets. And of course, this matrix system, if it could, it would tear me apart and of course destroy me if it could, but it doesn't manage. All that the system can do just to hinder to start for us to start our live streaming on time. But nevertheless, we start our live streamings, and then I see how such people also come to our live broadcasts and watch my streaming. If everything that I'm sharing with you are so mm, inappropriate to them, they are so against this knowledge. And then I see what happens to them because on my live broadcasts, they receive very high vibrational energy, very strong impulse of creative energy. So people with very low vibrations, who are aggressive people, very depressed or envy, hateful, greedy, people who curse, hate other people, who are very deceitful. In one word, they are matrix people. So when they watch our live broadcasts, their low vibrations are replacing outside, and they are tearing themselves apart because they cannot withstand my high vibrations, and it replaces in them they dirt, and they really cannot find uh, the calm state for themselves. They cannot sit calmly. It's very difficult for them. They suffer from it. So this is people who are completely trapped in the matrix, who live in very low vibrations, and some of them even don't have souls anymore. Although it's just a small amount of such people, most of the people who are watching us are kind, pure people, and they really need my energy, so they receive it. And of course, I share it with you in abundance so that the world improves and people live more uh, more developed and happier life. Because if I don't do this, no one would not do. And I know that people now don't live but survive, only survive. And that's why, friends, I want to tell you that if you don't like me, um, don't watch my broadcast, because you will not have good results, because the evil that exists in such people destroys them even more, since the evil, negative, low vibrations destroys itself, because it has the destruction in its basis. And also, friends, and now I want to share with you the methods for your protection. In the evening, when you return home, always try to take a shower or a bath with the salt. Apply salt on your skin for several minutes, and then practice in meditation. Meditation is needed to cleanse your subtle bodies from the low vibrations. Of course, you need to learn how to practice in meditations, in a proper meditate work, how to cleanse your energy, your subtle bodies, and you should do this every evening. It's obligatory. And then, so that you have a good sleep and to see good, positive, and creative dreams, you need to sleep in a divine state, in God. It means when you're preparing for sleep, when you have fallen asleep, tell yourself, I'm fallen asleep in God, several times. Very calmly repeat, I'm fallen asleep in God. And then, even slower, I am fallen asleep in God. And then relax. Relax all the muscles of your body, the muscles of your face, because thus, as soon as you relax your face, your internal organs also are relaxed. And then you relax, calm down, and delve into the sleep. And to have a calm state in dream, and so that you to wake up in a proper and positive and calm state, you need to react right on every situation during your day. How to react? Calmly, in a balanced and calm emotional state. And of course, don't lose the vigilance, don't open your subconsciousness, and don't accept all dirt that you face in life. And always remember that some situation happens with someone, it means that this person needs this, it means that it is the lesson for him, and the situation gives him a certain lessons and processes for his development. Because yes, now people develop only through suffering, and most of people develop uh, in this way because when everything is fine in the life of a person, he does not want to develop and changes something. A person starts his development only when he suffered too much. And exactly the difficult situation, the problem leads him to development. But if you mm, takes his low vibrations and his negative programs into yourself, then why do you need this? If you are developed in conscious state, you're developing and understand this life correctly. So always maintain your awareness and vigilance. I call it vigilance. This is the state when you always remember, I think, who you are, where are you going, what are you thinking, what are you feeling, what will be the consequences of my thoughts and feelings, and what will be the results when I think this way and act this way with someone. It means that you should be responsible for your life. And also, friends, another methods for your protection. High vibrations. You need to maintain high vibrational state in yourself. This is calmness and peace, and it arises in you only when you trust the Creator. When all achievements and rewards don't take at your own side as your own, but you give this to the Creator, to the highest mind, to God, because everything that you have in your life belong to the Creator, and everything is given to you by Him. And when you trust the Creator, the higher mind, you will be always calm. You will never worry or to experience some problems and hardships. Recently, one of my acquaintances told me that my son applied for the institute and he was taken, and then he mm, got sick because he worried so much when he passed the exams. Although this boy is spiritually developed and he believes in God, a very kind, very pure person, but he was taken to the hospital. Why? Because of fear. He was very scary. He was afraid of these exams and results. And in what states now children are passing these exams? In very strong stress, worries, and fears, and their parents with these children all also are in such emotions. And when a person worries and in stress, when he mistrusts the Creator, but when a person believes and trusts the Creator, he goes to the exams or to another uh, organizations, and he knows that uh, God is with me, the higher mind is with me, and that will be His will. If He needs me to be taken to this institute, He allows me to do this. He will do everything so that I will pass this exam in a calm state. But if this exam or this institute, this university, will lead me to the horror, to the suffering in my life, then for me it's better not to pass these exams and to go maybe in another year, and will study and gain another profession that my soul will choose and that my soul has planned, and I will live a happier and more developed life. This is the trust to the Creator. When you trust Him, then when you create something, when you plan, when you choose your profession or get married or search for a job, then you will do all these processes calmly when you trust the Creator, and you will not worry for your choice or for your losses, that you will have losses. Remember how I taught you how to define this is your destiny or not. Take what is given to you easily. When you are acting, when you are striving to your goal, and you are acting in lightness, easiness, with happiness, with love, with positive emotions, act and fulfill it, achieve it. It is your destiny, it's yours. This is the plan of your soul. But if you attack the wall and you try to um, go destroy everything on your path to achieve this goal, don't do this, because maybe you will, when you will reach this goal, you will have such distractions and sufferings and horror that maybe you will not return to the normal state. So this is how you need to understand life correctly. But for this, you need to trust the Creator, to live in God, to live in the source of life. So to pray God, it's not enough. You need to trust Him. When you believe in God, you know that every moment He is in you and with you. And then you are not afraid of any influences, any impact or magic, because nothing harms you, because you are in God. You live in God. And how do you think? Is it possible to influence on God with some programming or subconscious influence to change his consciousness, his thoughts, his mind? Of course, it's impossible, because when you live in God, you're self confident, you're strong willed, you're hardworking, you're effective, you're proactive, you're very kind, very friendly, you're filled with love. You are love itself, because to live in the source of life means to live with love. Do you hear me, friends? It's so simple, although at the same time it's so incomprehensible for many people. Friends, I know that it's difficult for many people. Many want this but cannot reach this. And what happens? Aggressiveness arises in them by themselves. From what source? From their subconsciousness. It means that their subconsciousness are filled with the low vibrations. Friends, I see that Sergei Arkadyevich is waiting too long, and he wore the glasses. It means that he is ready to read your questions. So we give the floor to Sergei Arkadyevich. Good evening, dear friends. Today there are a lot of questions, although Natalia Vladimirovna has answered many of them. So I will read the rest. Evgenia from Poland asks, it's interesting for me, what is the difference with that events that take place on the subtle level and that happen in material level? Since the energy space of the planet has strengthened so much that these events are happening completely almost the same time. But at the subtle level, it means in the etheric level, Uh, there is no time. Everything happens simultaneously in the moment of now. But everything depends on your vibrations that you have and what period of time you can hold this event. You will say that, but there is no time. Yes, at the subtle level, there is no time, but in the physical level, material space, there is time, and you have the perception of time, and you live in the time space continuum. In the cosmos, there are seven super universes that live in the time space continuum. It means that all live beings who live on these planets have the perception to perceive time, and your minds, your brains also have such sensors to perceive time. But the matter is the denser state, the most compressed state of energy. And since there is time in the time space continuum in the material level, there is time for these energy waves to compress and to create the material state of life. And all waves, energy waves, have two states at the same time. At this moment, they are waves, and at the same time, at the quantum level, they are particles. It means that they can create the matter. And when observer looks at them, these waves are turning into the particles. This is scientifically proven fact. The experiment by Thomas Young. So exactly the observant creates from this wave of energy the material events. So material events are more compressed and denser energy waves. That's why there is time, and time is needed for materializing events. But sometimes they take place very quickly, they materialize very quickly. And sometimes you ask, my thought was first, or the event that happens. You cannot invent thoughts. Your brain only have the ability to receive and decipher the waves from the space. And exactly this energy waves are coming into your subconsciousness in the form of programs, and then a brain of a person processes these programs from the subconsciousness. For example, sometimes you listen to some song, and then it stucks in your mind. For example, my friends with a baby started to sing such a childish song, and it's positive, it's good song, and it means that this song is playing in its subconsciousness. So it's good because this is the positive high vibrations. And if you have such a processes, it means that your subconsciousness is playing the song with high vibrations, and then it's good. But if your subconsciousness is always activating the fear or scary or aggressive thought, then of course this vibration destroys you. And the next question, Alex from Chisinau asks, when I delve into the deep state of thoughtlessness during meditations, is there a danger to be influenced by the negative influence of some magicians? Friends, yes, such magicians carry out these magical rituals exactly in such a way. They sit in meditation, they focus on some program and about certain process, and thus they create a curse or other magical programs Then, of course, if it works on the subtle energy level, it then materializes and affects the person at the material level. But if in meditation you learn how to keep your high vibrations and awareness, vigilance, then it's impossible to influence and impact you. But if you again lose your vigilance in such a defocused state, then of course any program can influence you. And so, friends, there are also a lot of different meditations. So you should practice in the right state, in the right way, because there are meditations that are destructive too. But if you work in meditation with high vibrations, with divine energy, it always allows you to protect yourself. You know, now in this hall, when we are recording this broadcast, we're sitting with Sergei Arkadyevich, and there is a fly that always tries to enter our screen, our live broadcast, but it's flying around us the whole streaming. It's also life, one of the life forms that also has certain level of consciousness. And the next question from Valentina. How we can define where is a black teacher and the light teacher? It's very simple. Your soul always knows the answers to all questions because it contains the divine knowledge of the Creator, and all of you can do this. For example, when you communicated with a teacher or watched his videos or read his book, or maybe you just remember and thought about him or her, and you feel inside delight and emotions, positive emotions, joy, calmness. It means that this is the light teacher. But if you feel misunderstanding, worry, anxiety, or even a danger, or just your mood gets worse, it means that this is the sign that something wrong. Your soul felt and perceived the information from this master and feels these low vibrations. But to feel this, you need to be a pure and kind person. You need to accustom yourself to live in a state of goodness and love and kindness. For example, there are a lot of people who are very kind, very pure, although they don't study with me, they don't practice in meditations, but they're so pure, so frank, so kind. They don't pretend, don't deceive people, don't use them. They live pure lives because they're pure with their souls. They do everything with love, without deception. These are pure souls, pure minds, pure consciousness. Of course, such people uh, mm, choosing the teacher, they will feel the feeling of their souls, the answer of their souls, and they will be able to enter into resonance with the light teacher, and their soul will feel very pleasant feelings, calmness and joy. But if you don't feel such a pleasant feelings, you feel discomfort, unpleasant feelings, it means it's not your teacher. And also, why did I say that all people can do this right now? All of you, because now, at this period of time, people have become very sensitive. They started to develop by themselves because high vibrational cosmic energy that is coming on our planet opens your abilities. So your sensitivity, extrasensory abilities are revealing by themselves. You just need to learn how to manage them, to develop them, and to direct them for your self development. And many people really have become very sensitive. They feel the states of people and the state of some buildings, some environment. For example, sometimes a person enters a new building, but he feels some unpleasant feelings. It means that or this place is bad on which this building is built, or people who build the building are deceitful or destructive or aggressive. Or, for example, when you are hiring for a job and you come for the employer, he asked you several questions and you feel unpleasant feelings in your soul, or maybe feel some embarrassment or fear, then you need to run away from such an employer. You will not find anything good there. This is how you should feel everything with your soul. Make your soul as your instrument that will feel everything, any situation, every person, every situation and place. You just learn to understand your soul and understand its answers, and everything will be understandable for you because all of you are very sensitive now. So, the next question. Let's give such an emergent uh, help. The question from Dubai. I just now connected to your streaming, and my closed one person had an accident. How can I help him? Marina, now whatever happens, you need to calm yourself down and try to disconnect from the situation for a moment and focus on your inner state of calmness. Now, of course, it's not so easy to find this calmness, but you need to do this in a balanced and calm emotional state. Let's do this together right now. You need to detach from everything, from all situation, and focus on your inner state. Aware of who you are. For example, I am Marina. I'm sitting on the chair, and now focus on a person who needs the help. So you thought about him, and now think about feelings to this person, and I will think about my feelings to this person. Focus on all your feelings in your heart chakra, in your fourth energy center, and radiate your feelings and all your love, all your care, light, joy that you have, that you had, and you will have in the future. Send it into his heart chakra. Send it to this person, and let the will of God will be fulfilled. Let everything be as the Creator wants. Everything will be fine. I know this definitely. And the next question from Litva, Lithuania. Svetlana asks, as I understood, to be emotional is not right, it's not effective, but to be like a frozen and indifferent person is also not right. So, how to find the golden middle? Friends, when you rejoice, rejoice calmly. Sometimes people, especially with choleric temperament, they are jumping from the joy and then they're empty, especially when they cannot generate the energy and uh, f- fill themselves with the high vibrations. And friends, I control my emotions. And when something good happens, as a rule, I rejoice the achievements of my learners. And how I act. For example, today, my good acquaintance um, bought something about what she was dreaming the whole of her life. And I thought about her, concentrated my love and joy, and sent to her soul, and let my love and joy will help her in her life and in her activity. And I feel this pleasure. I just was happy. And now I feel this happiness when I'm telling you about this. I feel fullness. But nevertheless, I am sitting calmly. I don't jump to the ceiling, but I feel the pleasant feelings inside. I am delighted and I'm calm. I'm happy because people also become happy people, and they sometimes await of realization of their dreams for the whole life. And it was the dream of that woman, and now she is so happy, and I am delighted with her, and it's so wonderful. And I think always think that the creator is so wonderful, and he fulfills such a great miracles in the lives of people. And the next question, Romana from France. There are people who don't change their opinions at all, and they don't understand that someone can has another opinion. So they like a static water, and they resist to any influence. So it means that they have very strong protection, or they just are undeveloped people. Yes, they are undeveloped, but at the same time, they are under so strong control of the system that they even cannot analyze or to look at some concept or situation from another point. They focus only on some certain program, and only this program is active in the subconsciousness. And since the consciousness is undeveloped, very limited, very narrow, any other program will not enter the consciousness. And even if you will give such a person 100 arguments, they will not hear you. It means that the person has a very narrow, undeveloped consciousness and is stuck in the matrix and completely is under control of the matrix system. Such people usually don't have souls anymore um, in such a state, and just the system controls such people like slaves. They just sense the programs that these people fulfill. They live only on these programs without any analysis. So the last question, and we will finish our broadcast. The question from Victor from Dnipro, Ukraine. Uh, can we cleanse our subconsciousness completely from the destructive programs so that it works on the basis of high vibrations automatically? Victor, don't you want to be a robot? Of course, you don't want. So, every person should understand what is good and what is bad and how the cosmos is arranged. There are positive charges and there are negative charges of energy. There are plus and minus, but developed state allowed to develop spiritual beings not to choose destructive states and programs, and they live only on high vibrational creative programs, and no one violates the law free will, the right to choose. Only the matrix system violates this law and install programs into the minds of people. Now the life is based on such a state. The life itself on our planet is in such a state. But I recommend you to learn how to manage your subconsciousness, to realize what is bad, what is destructive, but not to choose this. So you need this understanding of what is good and what is bad. To have the understanding of creative, positive states, you need to know what is bad, destructive programs. So only so you need to have this understanding of bad. Only then you will clearly understand the goodness. And if you will not have this understanding, you will be like a robot that works only on the programs and he doesn't analyze anything, doesn't make his own decisions. But a human being is not a robot, it's the creation of the higher mind, of the creator. A human being is the greatest power, greatest possibilities and states. You're the creator and the spirit of the sixth category. God, the creator, is the spirit of the seventh category, the highest, and humans of this planet are just one level lower than the creator. It means that you has almost all his possibilities. It's very high status in the cosmos, children of God. So your status is the highest because for you, the most close people to you are your children. So you also, as children of the Creator, are the most close creations for Him. Just your form of life started your evolution from the lowest animal state, and then you are developing, you are evolving. Although during your evolution, many other civilizations came and enslaved of the planet, created and still create many destructions, and now humanity lives in deception, and even now you don't know the true history of our planet, and sometimes even scientists cannot understand what they found, some relics, or when they dig in and find ancient cities, and why are there the city are underground, what happened to them. Wars, a lot of wars, so it was not accident. But I want to specify you that the wonderful life is approaching, and exactly for pure and kind and creative people. They will live like in a paradise on the earth. So, my beloved ones, learn, study, develop, and this is the method that will protect and save you. And now we're uh, completing the basic course on this week, and the new course will be in October. And I see how these new people, new learners felt that I really turned their heads in the right directions, although they also at the beginning. But friends, I want you to live without fears because the fear directs you to these influences that influence your subconsciousness with a negative impact. But I invoke the whole humanity live according to the divine laws of the Creator. And the first law is free will, the right to choose. And no one in the cosmos has the right to violate this law and to force you something and to deprive you this right to choose and free will. And who violate this law destroys itself. So friends, I wish you love, happiness, joy and goodness and the divine light and divine happiness. So be happy, friends, and up to new meetings. See you soon.